the aroma of a tailgate grill. Kick off your pregame party with a Kingdom Meat Bundle from Hy-Vee. Get 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 pork chops, 4 bratwurst, and 4 chuck patties for just $30. Plus, get a 10-cent per gallon fuel saver. Toss in some chips and dip, side dishes, and Chiefs-themed baked goods. Score the extra point with your favorite tailgate beverage from Hy-Vee Wine and Spirit. Just one stop for all your game day needs, only at Hy-Vee.
Friday Night Lights, college game days, and of course Red Sundays are here. Nothing goes better with football than Joe's KC Barbecue. Joe's Championship Barbecue is perfect for your pregame tailgate or watch party. Joe's smoked brisket, burnt ends, and pulled pork are available by the pound and teamed up with dirty rice, barbecue beans, or Joe's famous mac and cheese. It makes for a game-winning meal. Order online for curbside pickup at joeskc.com.
Since 1886.
All right, gentlemen, you got 1 minute and a legal ID.
Simple. Be here all season as the Jayhawks hit the turf.
Touchdown, Kansas!
Join us this Saturday as the Jayhawks start Big 12 play against West Virginia in Lawrence. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on your home for Kansas Jayhawk football.
The Jayhawks play here. Sports Radio 810, WHB.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodandsupply.com.
KCFX HD4 Harrisonville, K279BI Kansas City, 103.7 FM. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
America's largest all-sports radio station presents the #1 motorsports show for over 2 decades, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the racing boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Track Talk with the Racing Boys. I'm Kirk Elliott. Scott Traylor not able to be with us this morning, but he and I are going to be together tonight down at Lucas Oil Speedway tonight for the championship night of the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial, and he'll join us for our mostly motorsports show on Monday, but not able to be with us here this morning. We got Todd Surprise here, though. How you doing, Todd?
Pretty good. How you doing this morning, Kirk?
We're doing good. Boy, this big weekend of racing.
Big
We've
weekend.
got NASCAR at New Hampshire, and, of course, we're a week out from Kansas Speedway. Big weekend out here. Playoff racing. Kansas Speedway next weekend. Are you ready?
It's that time of year, Kirk, when
Yes, sir.
it starts to cool off a little bit, and the fall race is here. And the one thing about this race that's different from the early race, this is playoffs. So
It's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs, and you know as well as I do, people get eliminated every couple weeks, and so here we are. We had some eliminations last week, and now we're back at it again this week. And next week, we're here in the Midwest. So,
well, we're going to be kind of heavy on NASCAR here this hour leading up to the big weekend. We've got the reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion on the show this morning. Joey Logano will be joining us
how about
here
that?
in just a little bit. And later on in the hour, Pat Warren, the president of Kansas Speedway, will give us an update on all you need to know for next weekend out in Kansas. No trucks this fall.
Yeah.
You know, the last
year we had
3
two.
years we had 2 truck races,
Yeah.
but we just had the truck race in the spring, and so we got 3 races next weekend. We got the Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN BET. That's a long name.
That's a big
on
one.
Sunday. That race starts at 2 o'clock a week from Sunday. Saturday's race, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, next year to be known as the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. The Kansas Lottery 300 will be a 3 o'clock start a week from today. And then this coming Friday night, the ARCA Menards Series will be in action with a night race, 7 o'clock, the Reese's 150. So those 3 races next weekend out here at Kansas. Keep our fingers crossed on the weather. You know, we've been lucky out here in Kansas. We've never had a cup race postponed to Monday out here ever. There's only one time in the history of the track we've had any event run on a Monday. If you remember that, it was April one year when the truck race.
Yes, sir.
And it got a little snow on the day they ran
I
the
remember
race.
that.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
Let's hope that when they have the Cup weekend next April that we don't have to deal with that because the spring race will be in April next year.
Earlier next year. But this year
I think it's better than Mother's Day, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's for the crowd especially too.
Yeah.
You know, we've been unfortunate and had some things go wrong. Obviously, the Chiefs have been pretty good in the last few years, so that kind of kills your little bit of walk-up crowd when you have racing going on the same weekend as the Chiefs are going on. But I believe this weekend's going to be a good weekend. Next weekend's going to be a great weekend to race it out.
The Chiefs are in town the same day, right?
Yeah, but I think they play actually later, and I think we'll be able to get all the race in because I think the game's actually a 3:00 game, not a noon game.
It is?
Yes.
It's a later start.
I think so.
Well, does it really matter when the Chiefs game is?
No.
Come watch the race. You can DVR the game.
Absolutely.
Watch that later.
Heck, you got
come out and watch the race.
You can watch the highlights and all the stuff on your phone.
Yeah. You can watch the game and be at the race at the same time. So.
Let me tell you, if you haven't been out to a playoff race in Kansas, it's a little different, boy. Once it gets to the end, Kirk, things kind of just get a little bit dicey.
Intense.
It's pretty dicey out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Bell is the most recent winner. He won the Cup race at Bristol last weekend in a wild event with tire wear.
It was
kind
crazy.
of surprised everybody. And, the whole key to that is temperature. If it's below 74 degrees, then you're not going to have any issues with tires. But the problem is it warmed up above that and on that concrete racetrack.
Man, that was bad.
I don't know why they were so surprised about it, but
caught
after
them off.
40 laps, they saw the tires cording.
Yeah.
And they said, we got a big problem on our hands.
Yeah.
But, a lot of race fans like that because there were a lot of comers and goers, and you couldn't predict who's going to be running up front at any particular time in the race. So I think that's what a lot of people that loved Bristol in the past were looking for. We didn't see any fights or anything like that during the race. I mean, nobody got mad at anybody, it didn't seem like, but it sure put a lot of stress and strain on Goodyear, who had to come out with another set of tires to get through the race.
Yeah, they were mad dashing in the garage, wasn't they, Kirk?
Yeah.
They had the we know our media parking is right by the Goodyear garage, so they have the stacks of tires with the big the truck and the whole thing there. But man, they were scrambling to get tires for everybody. Heck, they had to use. People were trying. They had to use their qualifying tires as well. I mean, Kirk, it was a lot different strategy last week than I think you'll see this week. Obviously, at the race. Is it Hampshire?
At New Hampshire.
At New Hampshire. So I think, like you said, last week.
They won't have that issue this weekend.
No. So that was a one into itself. But, this weekend it should be a good race. And then, like you said, hopefully they get the race in today and they roll into town next week. And we'll be out there quite a bit, Kansas Speedway. Kirk's out there.
Have it all covered for you next weekend.
And then I think Lakeside's got a big race as well, right?
They did, and probably the bigger race last night was down at Lucas Oil Speedway, where the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial is in action. This is a big race to us because we knew Jesse so very well. Of course, Daniel was right by his side, and both of them sadly lost their lives a little over 15 years ago. But Jesse is being remembered 15 years after as much as he was when he was with us. And this has become the biggest memorial race in racing, I think, in the whole country. And last night they were able to get the race in. Thursday night was rained out.
Yeah,
I was on my way down there on Thursday night, Todd.
Yeah.
And Scott was already down there, and it rained, and he had to come back because he had some issues with the truck.
Yeah, you texted
so
me.
So he had to pull the thing back, and we got caught up in a big traffic jam down on I-49 when a couple of semi trucks crashed and had the northbound lanes closed. So it took us a while to get back, and we found out that we didn't really miss anything because they called they had finally called it off.
Yeah.
So no racing on Thursday. But last night they got it in, and a big night for Clinton Boyles.
How about that?
You remember he spent the last couple of years as a crew chief for Mir Racing and decided to resign that post earlier this year on the World of Outlaws and go back to driving a race car. And he was in the Heidbreiter number 19 car last night. He's going to be in that car for the rest of the year, but he starts on the pole and wins the 410 wing sprint car race last night at Lucas Oil Speedway. And this is big because Clinton Boyles is very close to the Hockett family, and he was one of Jack's first drivers after Jesse died. And so Clinton Boyles has got a big connection to the Hockett family, and for him to win that race last night, that was a big deal. And the same thing happened in the non-wing race where Riley Kreisel,
How about that?
also from Jesse's hometown of Warsaw, Missouri, wins the non-wing race. So you had a couple of connections to the Hockett family celebrating in Victory Lane last night. Riley Kreisel in the non-wing race, and Clinton Boyles winning the Wing 410 Power I race last night at Lucas Oil Speedway. Great racetrack. It was great racing last night, and keep our fingers crossed that Mother Nature is going to cooperate with us tonight. You know, I probably shouldn't watch the forecast, Todd. I probably shouldn't look at it.
That might be their best bet today.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that all goes well. We get that race in tonight. Scott and I will be down there tonight following that race at Lucas Oil Speedway. A couple of other big events. Knoxville hosting the late models, the late model Knoxville Nationals in action this weekend. And Thursday night, shall we say, was a pretty crazy night. They'd gotten a lot of rain up at Knoxville. I heard 2 inches of rain the night before Thursday. And the track was, shall we say, giddy up. It was wet. And it was kind of narrow, and the cushion was pretty gnarly, and it bit a couple of guys on Thursday night, including Hudson O'Neal.
Man, that video.
Who took a wild ride up into the fence, and thankfully he is okay, but that race car was, shall we say, wadded up.
Thank God for good equipment, Kirk.
Yeah. We had 2-3 cars get upside down. Carson Ferguson got upside down. And it was not easy on equipment on Thursday night.
No, I was zooming through. I was editing some video for the show this morning and last night, and I was on Facebook, and man, the posts were coming in fast, Kirk. I mean, Hudson, that I don't know how many people posted photos and video of that. That was and I shared that with you as soon as that came in, and then, like you said, it wasn't a couple seconds later, boy, there was another wreck, and it looked like there might have been, I don't know if there was a third one or not, but I know that they were having some beating and banging, and like you said, that track was pretty sticky last night. A lot
of torn up race cars on Thursday, and it was really nobody's fault except Mother Nature, because they didn't add any water to the track. The Duncans didn't add any water to the track. But they worked on it all night long into yesterday, and it was a great racetrack last night. By the way, Garrett Albertson wins on Thursday night. Last night, Devin Moran comes through with the victory. I thought it was a great racetrack last night. Much, much different and much better than it was on Thursday night. And thanks to the Duncans, they worked pretty hard getting that track slicked off, and it turned into a great racetrack last night with Devin Moran coming through with the win. It looked like Brandon Overton was going to be the guy to beat, but Moran was able to pull a slider down and make it stick. And he's on the pole for tonight's
big one.
Race at Knoxville Raceway. They tallied up points over the 2 nights, and there were no split fields or anything like that at Knoxville. So they just tallied up the points over the 2 nights, and that means that Devin Moran earned the most points, so he'll be on the pole tonight. Jonathan Davenport will start outside the front row. This is not one of Jonathan's favorite racetracks, shall we say. Jonathan has been, pretty critical of Knoxville Raceway in the past, but he was heaping a little praise on it last night after his third-place finish. He liked the fact that they took away some of the berm down at the bottom. I've been saying that you don't need that berm for the late models, so that gives the guys a little bit more room.
Yeah, you need a little bit more room.
Because, the late models need a little bit more to get around that racetrack as far as room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than the sprint cars. So it's that berm at the bottom. I'm glad that, they kind of adjusted that, shall we say, from the sprint cars.
Well, it made for good racing.
Made for better racing.
Yeah, it sure did.
So Davenport will be on the outside of the front row. He won this race 3 years ago. Garrett Alberson, who won on Thursday night, starts third. Ricky Thornton Jr., the winner 2 years ago, and winner of the World 100 a couple of weeks ago, will start outside the second row. Tyler Erb and Brandon Overton on row 3. Dalton Wilson and last year's winner Bobby Pierce on row 4. Bobby not running as well as we've seen him earlier in the season. So I don't expect Bobby Pierce to be in contention tonight because he just doesn't have the speed like some of these other guys do. So we'll see how that works out. Brandon Shepard will start ninth, and Brian Shirley rounds out the top 10 starters for tonight's feature event. The Malvern Bank Late Model Series will also be running tonight, along with the B and the A feature for the feature event tonight at Knoxville. Eldora Speedway, another big venue this weekend. It's Four Crown Nationals time. And what a night for Aaron Reitzel last night. The Four Crown includes the 3 USAC divisions, Silver Crown, non-wing sprint cars, and midgets, plus the High Limit Racing Series. And there are a couple of drivers that are going for all 4. One of those drivers is Dazen Persley, who we're going to have on in the next hour.
Absolutely.
He won last night's 360 feature event. So they really got 5 divisions at the Four Crown Nationals.
Crazy.
But I don't think they count the 360 as. But Dazen Persley is running all 5 divisions.
All 5.
He would, if he were to sweep all 5 classes, he'd
crazy.
be the first ever to do that. Because Jack Hewitt won 4 races back in '98, but not 5. Yeah. So Dazen Persley would make history tonight if he were to win, and he won the preliminary feature last night in the 360. So
he's a good kid, like you said. It was a really good interview we had with him on Mostly Motorsports. That was episode 377. And if you want to go back and listen to that, you can go back.
We got Hank Davis also on the
show. Hank Davis is always cool to have on.
He's racing at Lucas Oil Speedway this week. He was the hard charger last night, Todd.
Yeah,
He came from 18th to 7th in last night's feature. That was after he won at Callaway Speedway last Saturday night in the Power I 410 sprint cars. So we got Dazen Persley and Hank Davis coming up.
Yep, hour 2. That'd be a good. And then we have Pat Warren. Final segment today, and then we're going to have Joey Logano. How about that, Kurt?
So he's coming up here in a couple of minutes. But a big night for Aaron Reitzel.
Man.
And there are 2 drivers that, when they get out of the race cars these days, are asking for their crutches. We saw Justin Grant win down at Lucas Oil Speedway a couple of weeks ago, and he had crutches because both these guys broke their foot. It was different foot. I think it was the left foot for Justin Grant, but the right foot for Aaron Reitzel. And how in the world is he able to race that car? He got back in the car after he injured that foot at Eldora Speedway during the Kings Royal weekend. And so he was out of the car for almost a couple of months, but he crawled back in it at the Tuscarora 50 at Port Royal. But that foot is going to take a long time to heal because it broke a complex structure of bones at the top of the foot. That's not going to heal just right away, but he's back to racing now. And, boy, did he put on a show last night, passing Rico Abreu for the win. Rico had won on Thursday night at Eldora.
Reitzel started 4th, looks like, in that race. But, man, Kirk.
Actually, Rico won on Wednesday night at Lawrenceburg.
There you go. That was
They had the high limit midweek at Lawrenceburg, and then he comes 2 nights later at Eldora. And looked like Rico was well on his way to victory last night, but Aaron Reitzel had other ideas. And the big news in sprint car racing as Rico Abreu is going to drive for Tony Stewart in 2026.
Tony's been signing a lot of papers the last few weeks, Kirk.
So after booting Donnie Schatz from that ride after the Knoxville Nationals, Rico and Tony Stewart have joined forces, and Tony's going to lease Rico's franchise in the High Limit Series beginning next year, and Rico's bringing his whole crew with him over to Tony Stewart Racing. That includes his crew chief, Ricky Warner, Zach Middlebrooks, and all his crew over to Tony Stewart Racing. That looks like that's going to be a force to reckon with Tony Stewart and his resources joined in with Rico and what he's got going on. And Rico's going to run his own. He's going to run that team.
Yep.
And I think that's I'm looking for that to take it to the next level. What do you think?
Yeah. We thought Rico was going to dominate, be one of the main contenders in this series when this thing kind of fired up, and he kind of came out of the thing kind of a little slow. We talked to Chase Rodman quite a bit, and everybody kind of thought that he would have been the one, but it was Brad Sweet, that was pretty much dominant. But I think next year, Tony Stewart, he's got a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak, with what he's doing. But leaving, we were, and we kind of wondered what was going to happen after he got rid of his other driver, and we thought, are they going to shut the team down? What are they going to do? And
he's going to keep it going.
This kind of answers the questions.
I think it answered the question when he let Donnie go.
Yeah,
that Tony planned on keeping it going.
Yeah,
at that time,
because we thought
the question was who's he going to put in there as a driver.
We kind of thought maybe Selzy might have been one of the names. There was a couple names that were being thrown around, but the fact that Rico is coming over with everything, with all of his, like you said, with his crew chief and everything, all of his, I think it's going to be a really good season for Rico next year. And heck, he's had a great year to finish out this season. This year he's had some pretty good wins. And
Rico's got a chance to win the High Limit Championship now. It's a three-way battle for the championship right now, with Aaron Reitzel, who had trailed Rico Abreu coming in. I haven't seen the updated point standings yet, but Aaron is and Rico are right together. Of course, Rico finished second, so that is a very tight battle. Brad Sweet's still in the mix there, too. So, they're coming to Lakeside Speedway on October 10th and 11th.
Yes, sir.
And that's right ahead of the season finale at Texas Motor Speedway. So it's going to be an exciting weekend out here at Lakeside with that points battle the way it is. I don't expect it to separate out. These three guys are all going to be in right there together right up to the end.
Yeah.
So.
And we talked about it earlier, Kirk, with the way they had that point, the way they have it structured. He was able to miss a race, right, and still not lose, they were able to continue with the points and everything. So Reitzel's he's been beat up this year, Kirk. He's had a broken nose. He's got broken foot. This guy, we talked to him early in the year when he had that piece, something that came through the screen and broke his nose, Kirk. And it wasn't just a little, his eyes were blackened and everything. It was just a little. So Reitzel's been beat up pretty good in the 2025 out there. And, for him to be in the three-man race like this, more power to him. If I was a betting man, I don't know if I wouldn't put some money down on Aaron Reitzel. This guy, he looks determined to me.
Yeah, I think so.
I know Rico's there, but Aaron Reitzel, man, the way he's been battling adversity all year. The injuries alone, Kirk, is just, I don't know.
He's been beat up and banged up, and he's still winning races. By the way, on Thursday night, they had the Four Crown Nationals open up with sprint cars and midgets. Briggs Danner won the sprint car feature on Thursday night at Eldora Speedway, and Hayden Reinbold wins his first midget race. So all of those classes will be in action tonight out at Eldora Speedway. When we come back, we have the reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion, Joey Logano, joining us. You're listening to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We're brought to you by Rod End Supply, home of the Power I Midwest Lightning Sprints. We're coming right back.
Track Talk.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motors. Since 1989, Rod & Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod & Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod & Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodandsupply.com.
Every great game day deserves great barbecue. At the Rub Barbecue, we've got the smoked brisket, ribs, burn ends, and sides that will make your watch party a win. Whether you're hosting friends for a Sunday watch party or tailgating before college game day, we've got carry-out platters and catering options ready to feed your team and fuel your fandom. Don't just watch the game, make it a Kansas City barbecue experience. Order now at therubbbarbecue.com and score big for your next game day.
The Sporting Kansas City season is here, and you can tune in to all Sporting KC coverage exclusively on Sports Radio 810 WHB. You can catch all of the live broadcasts, interviews, and more right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Brought to you by Greenlight Dispensary. Make sure to check out greenlightdispensary.com for all premium cannabis products. The best cannabis deals are always at greenlightdispensary.com. Go Sporting!
It's game time at Heartland Chevrolet in Liberty. Step into the huddle with their friendly team and score big on your next Chevy. Every new Chevrolet at Heartland Chevrolet comes with a free lifetime powertrain warranty, so you're covered all the way to the end zone. From the versatile Equinox to the powerhouse Silverado, Heartland Chevrolet's got winning deals to move the chains. Transparent pricing, easy financing, and all-star service. Come see them today at Heartland Chevrolet, where nice people buy from nice people. Visit them just north of the Liberty Triangle or at heartlandchevrolet.com.
Get ready for the Chiefs and Giants this Sunday with the Central Bank pregame show. Curtis Seabolt here joins Seren Petro, Mark Bullrichter, and me as we get you up to speed with news and interviews right up to the noon kickoff between the Steelers and Patriots. At 3, it's the Chargers and Broncos. And we'll put the wraps on another Chiefs encounter with the Red and Gold postgame show immediately following the Chiefs and Giants. It's all on your home for the NFL, Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Les Norman here. I want to invite you to tune into my show, Breaking the Norm. Every week, my special guests join and we cover the brightest and most compelling side of sports. Inspiration, heart, and a whole lot of positivity from people who have lived life differently. Athletes, entertainers, and people like you and me, sharing their stories of challenges they've overcome, experiences that uplift, motivate, and celebrate the good side of sports and life. Breaking the Norm is presented by TruckMovers.com and First Federal Bank of Kansas City. Every Saturday on Sports Radio 810 at 7 a.m. and Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on ESPN Kansas City.
Make sure to check out the Sports Radio 810 WHB mobile app for all our great content, live streams, social media, and all our podcast clips all in one place. Your one-stop shop for all things 810. Whether you're in the car, at home, or at your kid's soccer game, you'll never miss the action. So download the 810 app today. Brought to you by Trailside RV. Get into Trailside RV to buy the RV of your dreams. Visit them today off I-70 in Grain Valley or online at trailsiderv.com.
Kansas City, the Rock Chalk Run is back and bigger than ever. It's all happening Sunday, October 5th at the KU Edwards campus in Overland Park. And this year, they've added a 10K to the lineup. That's right, 10K, 5K, and a 1K family fun run, all supporting scholarships for deserving KU students. Live music, food trucks, cool race tees, everyone's welcome. Register now at rockchalkrun.com and use code 810 for a 10% discount. See you at the starting line.
How would you like your backyard to become your personal soundtrack for the sounds of summer? For expert pool construction and many other outdoor living amenities, ProBuilt Pool and Patio can take your ordinary backyard and transform it into an extraordinary paradise. ProBuilt Pool and Patio offers creative designs and quality pool construction so you can soak up the sounds of summer with your very own backyard oasis. ProBuilt Pool and Patio is the largest provider of fiberglass pools in the Midwest and has been helping families create fun memories in their backyards that will become your staycation destination. Call us today at 816-786-3893 or visit us online at ProBuiltPatio.com.
Joining us is Joey Logano, driver of the Team Penske number 22 Ford, coming off a fifth-place finish at the Bristol Motor Speedway on Saturday night. Joey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
2 straight fifth-place finishes right now. Do you even though you started 22nd, you had a big recovery on Saturday night. Do you feel like momentum's heading in the right direction right now?
I think so. Our team's done a good job at capitalizing the last few weeks on strategy and just executing the races well. Short tracks have been really strong for the 22 car, really ever since Paul's been my crew chief. So I look forward to anytime you say short track, and this weekend coming up, Loudon, New Hampshire. Obviously that's a mile long, so we consider that a short track as well. And look forward to try to capitalize there and try to get a win if we can. If not, get enough points to help us get through to round 8.
How surprised were you the way the race played out? It turned into a tire management race. Did you have an idea that it might turn into that before the race started?
I did not. If we go off of the data that we had before, it's very correlated to the track temperature. And, the track was a little warmer than what it was in the spring in practice when we were kind of going through the same situation. And all signs pointed that we were going to be good to go and the tires were going to last a long time, especially after practice. And then, obviously, the first round of the race, we're all like, oh, this is going to be a lot different than what we thought it was going to be. And at that point, it was all about adjusting and adjusting strategy, adjusting the way you drive the car, adjusting what you need in the car. It's honestly straight up panic mode. Like, whoa, wait a minute, what do we do? But we did a good job being able to adapt quickly and try to work the strategy to I thought we were going to win the race, to be honest with you. I thought that long green flag run, we pitted later than most, and which kind of made me feel like our tires would last longer than everybody else's because we had less laps on them. But that caution came out there at the end, and unfortunately, we were out of new tires at that point. So, we kind of limped it around to get a top 5 at the end. So, overall, did what we need to do to get to the next round, which was the number one goal there. But the greedy part of me wants to win the race.
Some fans like that, others don't. Where do you come down on that type of racing?
I don't know why you wouldn't like it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
As a driver, you look for opportunities to separate yourself from the field. And if tires don't wear out, it's really hard to create an advantage somehow because they don't fall off, right? If they just run the same lap every time, then you can drive as hard as you possibly can every single lap with no penalty. When you have a race where there's a lot of tire fall off, it forces you to use your head a little bit. Is it worth running hard on the short run to gain a spot? Am I going to pay the price later on? How long is the run going to be? It really puts a lot more emphasis on being a smart racer. And personally, I like that. Right? I like that part of it. It's the way I grew up racing at a lot of local short tracks where, you had to make a late model race run 150 laps and the tires had to somehow make it there. And you had to think about that stuff. In cup racing, especially recently, we haven't had that at all. So it's kind of welcome to me that we have the opportunity to do that. And it created a lot of passing. I thought it was a very interesting race.
How would you evaluate your season? You did win back in May at Texas Motor Speedway. That was your one win this year. Just how difficult has it been through the course of the season?
Yeah, it's been a challenging year, there's no doubt. It seems like there was a point of the year, if it can happen, it did happen. There was a lot of opportunities to win that we weren't able to capitalize on because of weird things that happened. So I feel strong about my team, right? I mean, just the one good thing about having a lot of experience and doing this for a long time, that it kind of just goes ebbs and flows, right? Like you got to bring everything you can every week, don't get me wrong, but sometimes some things don't just go your way, and then there's other times everything goes your way. And you just got to be able to, stay positive and continue to capitalize on every opportunity that's there, and eventually those wins come along. So that seems like it's been successful for us in the past throughout the playoffs. Is just, staying calm, keep grinding it out, and getting the best finishes possible and staying alive throughout the playoffs. And, so far, at least in the first round, we've been able to do that.
I know you're going to New Hampshire this weekend. You have one there, but I want to talk about Kansas Speedway. That's our local track. You're going to be here in a couple of weeks. You've got 3 wins at Kansas Speedway. Just describe how you approach Kansas Speedway and how you like the track.
Yeah, Kansas is wide open. It's so fast there. Since this next-gen car, you're running up on the high side, especially even in qualifying. You're running up on the high side for qualifying. It's nuts. But it's been a really good track for the next-gen car because there's so many lanes. the tracks that have kind of single grooves is pretty challenging to pass. Well, when you go to Kansas, there's 3 to 4 real lanes that you can move around to get clean air on the car to try to help you make a pass. It's great. Yeah, that's what you want. So it's been an exciting race there the last few years. I'm sure it will be again.
Now, last year you won the championship. There was a couple of nervous moments during the playoffs to get in position to where you could win the championship. Do you feel that gives you an advantage? You handle pressure pretty well.
Yeah, and I feel like our team does a good job. I'm back to the experience piece. I mean, that's where I think it helps, right? We've got a lot of been here, done that situations for us where, it's hard to put the 22 team in a position they haven't seen before. Which I think is helpful, right? I mean, it's, when you just kind of have an idea how to handle things, right? Anything you do for the second time, you're going to be better at it. So, I do feel like that's our advantage. I think that's why you see our team typically excel throughout the playoffs is because we have a lot of that behind us. And that seems to work most of the time. It helps us try to overcome some of the other challenges that we do face. So, every team has strengths and weaknesses. Our strength definitely seems to be able to handle the pressure of the playoffs really well.
NASCAR was talking about adjusting the championship where it's not just one race with the final 4. Just how do you feel about all that? How do you like the way it's? I guess you like it pretty well. You've won 3 times in this kind of a format.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I like the format that we have now. I like that it comes down to one race. I also understand that everyone has different opinions. There's some people that love it the way it is. There's a lot of people that don't. So what I do know about, unfortunately, our whole world is people love to complain. And no matter what the playoff format, somebody will say they don't like it. And a lot of it seems like sometimes depends on who wins. So we'll see what happens. Either way, whatever playoff format NASCAR comes up with, we'll figure out a way to win it. Right? I mean, that's all there is to it, right? You just got to see what it is and then try to adapt to it first.
Yeah, they're going to change the finale to Homestead next year. Do you think they're picking on Team Penske? You guys ran pretty well at Phoenix.
I don't know. I mean, I personally think the final race of the year should move every year. Sorry. Yep. I think it should be like the Super Bowl, right? It should go to different. That is our Super Bowl. It's our championship event. So, I think it should move around to different places. So I'm excited it's going back to Miami. I mean, obviously we like going to Phoenix. It's been great for us, but we won a championship in a race at Miami as well. So I still feel solid about that too.
I saw an article where you were out there racing with your 7-year-old son, Hudson. What is he going to be a future racer?
At least a backyard racer. We have a lot of fun just racing in the yard.
1 minute.
He's got the car bug just like I got. He loves riding hot rods and driving go-karts anytime Dad's home. So he's fun. I feel like I'm raising a little best friend. get to go ride a lot together and do those type of things. And it reminds me a lot of me when I was a kid, because that's all I wanted to do when I got home from school every day was to ride my four-wheeler or whatever was there. So it seems like he enjoys the same things as me. So,
and I take it you're not going to force him into it. You're going to let him make that decision, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely not going to force. I told him, you want to race, you don't have to race. He plays basketball, which is great. I told him I can't help you much at basketball. I'm not a basketball player, but I love to go. I love to watch him compete. And, if he chooses he wants to race, sure, great. If he doesn't, that's fine too. Like, that's great too. We just want to have fun. I want to see him try hard. That's all I care about.
Hey, Joey, thanks for spending time with us. Good luck to you this weekend in New Hampshire, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks out here at Kansas Speedway.
All righty. Sounds great. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you. There he is, Joey Logano, 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, joining us here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. You're listening to the Racing Boys. We're coming back with more. Stay with us.
Track Talk.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
At Aristocrat Motors, come get your new car paired with a great experience. Now, you deserve luxury, top-of-the-line customer service, and a car you can depend on. Drive in style this year with your choice of 6 different brands all on one campus. Who else can say that? Aristocrat Motors, I-35 and Shawnee Mission Parkway, or shop us online at aristocratmotors.com.
Are you suffering from ulcerative colitis? BVL Clinical Research is enrolling participants for a clinical trial that could be the solution you've been seeking. You must be 16 to 80 years old with moderate to severe active UC, even if past treatments failed or caused side effects. At BVL, we believe in compassionate, patient-centered care with a vision to make tomorrow's treatments available today. You may receive study-related care at no cost, plus compensation for time, food, and travel. Go to bvlresearch.com to learn more and apply. That's bvlresearch.com.
What's up, Kansas City? This is SSJ, and boy, oh boy, do I love how Hy-Vee is always finding new ways to save me money. Like the new lower prices in every department. And on top of that, I save so much money at the pump with Hy-Vee's awesome fuel saver deals. And on Monday, September 22nd, earn a 40-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 grocery purchase. Stock up for fall fun and all your tailgates and watch parties, and stack up those fuel savings. Only at Hy-Vee.
It's game day, and nothing says Chiefs football like the aroma of a tailgate grill. Kick off your pregame party with a Kingdom Meat Bundle from Hy-Vee. Get 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 pork chops, 4 bratwurst, and 4 chuck patties for just $30. Plus, get a 10-cent per gallon fuel saver. Toss in some chips and dip, side dishes, and Chiefs-themed baked goods. Score the extra point with your favorite tailgate beverage from Hy-Vee Wine and Spirit. Just one stop for all your game day needs, only at Hy-Vee.
Friday Night Lights college game.
1 minute.
Nothing goes better with football than Joe's KC Barbecue. Joe's Championship Barbecue is perfect for your pregame tailgate or watch party. Joe's smoked brisket, burnt ends, and pulled pork are available by the pound and teamed up with dirty rice, barbecue beans, or Joe's famous mac and cheese. It makes for a game-winning meal. Order online for curbside pickup at joeskc.com.
Since 1886, it's been the chant we live to cheer. Be here all season as the Jayhawks hit the turf.
Touchdown, Kansas!
Join us this Saturday as the Jayhawks start Big 12 play against West Virginia in Lawrence. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on your home for Kansas Jayhawk football.
The Jayhawks play here. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Welcome back. You're with the Racing Boys here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We're a week out from a big weekend at Kansas Speedway. It's playoff time in NASCAR as the Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet will highlight the weekend a week from Sunday. And here to talk about it is the president of Kansas Speedway, Pat Warren. Hey, Pat, how you doing this morning?
I am doing great. How are you guys?
Good. You all ready to go next weekend?
We're getting there. We'll certainly be there by next weekend because the races happen whether we're ready or not.
That's right. Well, we got 3 races next weekend. Friday night, you got the ARCA Menards Series coming in, the second race of the year. The race is 150. That's under the lights on Friday night. Saturday, you got practice and qualifying for the Cup cars. I think that starts about noon. And then the Xfinity Series, Kansas Lottery 300 gets the green flag at about 3 o'clock, and then Hollywood Casino Cup Series race on Sunday about 2 p.m. It's a jam-packed weekend. So what are some of the takeaways from what we saw in May when Kyle Larson won to what the fans should expect to see coming up next weekend?
Well, you know, we've really had great racing with the next gen or the Gen 7 car. at the track. You know, the closest finish in NASCAR history a year and a half ago. We had great racing last fall. Our spring race, I mean, Kyle sort of ran away with it, but the quality of the racing was good. He just led too many laps for a lot of people's taste. So, you know, I think always in the playoff races you see very, very competitive and aggressive racing, and I think you're going to see that next weekend. You've got guys who are, you know, trying to win a NASCAR championship, and the way you do that is by fighting for every lap. And so I fully anticipate that we're going to have a phenomenal weekend of racing, especially on Sunday.
Yeah, there's no question about that. A couple of weeks ago, we were out at Jack Stack Barbecue, made a big announcement out there. They are the official barbecue of Victory Lane of Kansas Speedway. Talk about it. Had Chase Briscoe in town to help announce that.
Yeah, we started doing ribs in Victory Lane, I think 2 years ago, and we worked with a group called Smokin' Brothers, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. They're great. They were a great partner, but their business was really smokers, not the food. The ribs like Jack Stack is. And so, we opened a relationship or opened a conversation with Jack Stack, and we were able to secure a partnership with one of the premier barbecue restaurants in Kansas City, and I think the country, and we're really excited about it.
And, this weekend they got the lobster at New Hampshire. It's barbecue at Kansas Speedway. Both races in the spring and fall, isn't it?
Yeah, we do it for just the Cup race. But, yeah, we do ribs and we do beef ribs. Our spring entitlement partner, Advent Health, is part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They don't eat pork, so we do beef ribs for both the spring and the fall.
What are some of the other activities that fans will look forward to coming out, aside from the racing on the racetrack this weekend?
Well, we added the pickleball courts a few years ago, which have been very popular in Turn 1 in the Highline District. We've got the NASCAR experience in the fan midway behind the grandstands. We're going to have I just signed a contract this week for a golfing simulator that's going to be out there. So I'm not really a golfer, but anybody who is, you're going to have the opportunity to do that. I think it has a party deck on top, so it sounds like sort of an interesting thing. On Sunday, of course, we open up the infield. You can get inside the garage, not like a garage path, but in a bike racked off area where the first 10 cars are. Inside, if you've got a pre-race pass, and so it's really an opportunity to get up close. We pride ourselves on being the most accessible sport of all the professional sports, and on Sunday you really see that when you can sign start-finish line, you can sign the crash wall. Really opportunities to get up close to the event.
Yeah, and it's even gotten better over the last, of course, Kansas Speedway has been in existence for 25 years now, so that's amazing in of itself. But I've noticed even just over the last 4 or 5 years, the access to the drivers is as close as it's ever been right now because of what you've done. You opened up the garage area where people can walk up and get closer to the drivers now. That seems to me even way bigger in the last 3 or 4 years than we've ever seen.
It's interesting. For most fans, they probably haven't seen the effects of our merger with NASCAR when ISC, which was the company that owned racetracks before, and NASCAR merged just before the pandemic. But that, I would tell you, this kind of thing is one of the outgrowths because before, I don't want to say it was an us-them mentality, but it was NASCAR and the tracks. And now we're one unit and we work as a team. And so when we need something, in this case, like from our competition team, we just have a little bit closer relationship and it just makes things a little smoother. And so Scott Miller and Brad Moran worked with us on that. And it's when you can sort of go to the top of the food chain and the people who run the garage quickly and easily, it makes a difference.
What about entertainment? You got, I know in the past you've had musical entertainment pre-race. What kind of pre-race are we going to expect for the Sunday race?
Well, we're going to have a DJ on stage, on the main stage, no big concert before the Sunday race. We do a concert every night for the campers on the fan walk stage, and we'll have music and concerts throughout the weekend, but nothing big like we've done in the past. I'll be honest, the cost of production on the concerts, the basic basically the sound has become 3 times the cost of the band. And it just hasn't been something we've been able to make work what we can justify in terms of the impact we see on ticket sales. So we sort of shifted, and we're trying to provide different kinds of entertainment, also trying to target a little younger audience, honestly. And so that skews towards things like DJs instead of the live entertainment right now.
Hey, one thing I've noticed, too, over the last several years is how much more the Midway has become a beehive of activity. There was, I'll admit, there was a little bit of a lull for a few years, but it's really coming back, the activity in the Midway area. You're seeing, the merchandise trailers and all kinds of stuff going on in the Midway area has really picked up steam over the last few years, too.
Yeah, I think so. We did, for a while, we partnered with Fanatics, who works with every other major sports league and still does our online store. And they were adamant about doing I'll call it a tent-based merchandise system, which our fans honestly didn't react well to. And we brought the merch haulers back to traditional and what people have seen for years, and they love it. And so we did that. We pulled it up close, and we made it part of the Midway. It used to be sort of Midway. You hit the Midway first, then you hit the merch trip. We combined it all. There are fewer people bringing out activities now because, frankly, the internet makes it more cost effective for people to market directly than to go to an event and market. And so you got to find the right partners who want to activate and interact with people at an event. As an example, like today, we're going to be at the grand opening for Duluth Trading in the Legends. We're also going to be at a Hy-Vee store from two events that we're doing today with the Pace car and the Pace truck. But, you probably see it with radio remotes and radio. People just do less of that type of activity anymore because it's marketing via the internet.
Of course, camping is a big aspect to the whole experience at Kansas Speedway, too. Just how has that evolved here over the last few years?
Well, we added a new camp. We're trying to experiment this fall. We combined our 2 driver-owner lots, and so we're selling up to 20 spaces in what we call our South driver-owner lot, or the support lot, the one that would sit closer to turns 1 and 2 near pit out. And so it's the first time that we've ever had an opportunity for people to camp on the infield and have power and water hookups. All of our infield camping is primitive except the driver-owner lots, and so it's really a premium experience. We just put that on sale about a month ago. We've sold several spaces. We're not sold out. Anybody who wants a high-end camping experience on the infield, that's an opportunity we've never had before that we're trying out to see how it works.
And how do they get in touch with you if they're interested in that? How's that work?
You could I think you have to buy. You may be able to buy that online. I know you can buy it if you call 866-460 and talk to one of our agents. The reason I'm not sure you can buy that online is I think you got to pick your space, and I'm not sure the map is set up to be able to do that. And we've also got some restrictions. It's got to be a traditional motorhome. It can't be a pole behind or a fifth wheel. There's some things like that just because of the configuration of the area.
I know the Chiefs play on Sunday, and I know people they don't want to make choices, but you can still do it all, folks. You can still watch the Chiefs and still come to the race too. That's possible to do that. But for those that may have tickets to the Chiefs game, they come out on Sunday and see these Cup Stars, or on Saturday they can come out and see the Cup Stars that qualify at 2:00 in the afternoon. They'll see an Xfinity Kansas Lottery 300 at 3:00, so there's a really good opportunity for Saturday for people to come out and enjoy a good day of racing and still see all the stars of the NASCAR Cup Series, right? I think we lost Pat a little bit.
So, yeah, I think his phone went.
So his phone may have. Here, let's try to reconnect with him. Can we do that, Todd?
Yeah, let me try real quick.
Let's try to reconnect with Pat. I think we lost the connection there. So Pat Warren, the president of Kansas Speedway, joining us. That was really weird. So let's see if we can reconnect with Pat. That was kind of weird the way we were kind of digitized right there a little bit. So we'll talk more about what's coming up this weekend at Kansas Speedway. Of course, Friday night, the ARCA Menards Series will be in action with the Reese's 150. That's under the lights on Friday night, 2. And, of course, Saturday with the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series qualifying with the Cup race on Sunday. Pat, are you there?
I am.
There we go.
You were dropping out a little bit on me as we were talking, but I didn't know where it was in the connection.
We had kind of a weird connection.
I thought it might have just been me.
No, we had kind of a weird connection where I was just hearing little bits and pieces of it. Glad to join us back. No, we were talking about the Saturday out at Kansas Speedway where people can still come out. If they're not able to come on Sunday, they can come out and see all the Cup stars on Saturday, in addition to a great Xfinity Kansas Lottery race right after that, too. Right. There's an opportunity for Saturday, a full day of racing.
Yeah, and, Saturday is really a fantastic value for anybody that wants to either try the sport or if you're a big fan and you want to see both Cup and Xfinity. Because to your point, you get the Cup practice, you see all the top stars and top drivers in the world racing or practicing and qualifying on Saturday, and then you get the race in addition to that. And kids are free. And you remember at our place, you park for, you bring in your own food and drink. It really can be an economical family outing.
Now talk about Friday night. We do have a race under the lights, the ARCA Menard Series. We'll be racing, I think it's a 100-lapper on Friday night. Talk about Friday out at Kansas.
Well, we've got a great partner in Reese's that actually started. We had Reese's the first time. I think we were close to a Halloween race after the repave, and they've been a partner on and off since. Menards works with us to bring them in. It's a 100-lap race. ARCA's nearing the completion of their season. We're fortunate enough to have 2 ARCA events every year. And it's important, if you talk to Ron Drager, it's important for the drivers in ARCA to get opportunities on intermediate tracks. And we're a place that they get to, maybe the only place they go twice a year right now. But it's a big event on their schedule. It's great racing. As you know, it can be particularly aggressive. There are sometimes lots of cautions in ARCA races, but it's a place you see the future stars of the sport. And so it's a really neat opportunity, and it's a really inexpensive ticket.
We'll see if Brandon Butterbean Queen can sweep the year out at Kansas Speedway. He was the winner out there in the spring. Anything else we forgot about that we need to make sure the fans know about?
No, I don't think so. It looks like we're fantastic. We're looking forward to that. As you mentioned, we've got a slight conflict with our neighbors down the road, but I don't think that's going to hurt us too much. We wish them well both this weekend and next weekend. Hopefully we'll bounce back from the 0-2 start, but it's going to be a great weekend at Kansas Speedway, and we look forward to seeing everybody.
And if they're looking for tickets, just go to kansasspeedway.com, or what's the best way?
I'd do that, or if you're a first-time fan, probably call us at 866-460-RACE so somebody can help curate your experience for you and sort of help you figure out where to sit, how the day goes.
Pat, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll see you out there next weekend.
Sounds great. Sorry about the technical problems.
Hey, no problem at all. We got it on.
Thanks, Pat.
Pat Warren, president of Kansas Speedway, joining us here on Sports Radio 810. And, it's, it's, I guess the only thing that we have no control on is the weather.
Just the weather.
And we just have to keep our fingers crossed that I haven't seen any long-range forecasts out there. Have you?
I haven't seen any bad long-range forecasts. Usually those are the ones you start seeing first, right? So
yeah.
I haven't seen anything. I think we'll probably be fine with this race.
I see temperatures are going to be pretty mild.
Yeah.
70, maybe a little bit in the 60s.
Perfect
so
racing
it's going to be
condition.
perfect temperature-wise. So we'll look forward to that. We'll be all over it next weekend. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks to Joey Logano and Pat Warren for joining us. Hour 2, we'll have interviews with Dazen Persley and Hank Davis, exclusively on racingboys.com, Facebook, and YouTube page. Thanks, Jay Powers out at Sports Radio 810. Todd Surprise, great job as always. For my partner,
Thanks,
Scott Traylor, I'm Kirk Elliott. Thanks to Rod End Supply, and thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you again next Saturday. Stay tuned for College Game Day coming up next here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Thanks, man.
And that's
Appreciate
another
it.
huge play for number 86. Oh, wait. Is that 68? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't tell what number that is. My bad. Hey, Kansas City. Trent Green here.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Here at Specialty Sportswear in-house, we do all of the screen printing, all the embroidery. We do some vinyl. The other add specialty items like your pens, magnets, notepads, calendars. You can actually buy that, build your business to make it larger. We have the largest screen printing process and the largest embroidery anywhere around in the area. We can do stuff all the way from your school clubs to sports teams, a professional look in the office. If you can imagine it, we can do it for you.
From the circle track to the drag strip to off-road racing, Rod End Supply has been keeping their customers at the front of the field since 1989. Whether you need rod ends, tubular rods, or specialty products, Bob Douglas and his Rod End Supply staff are always ready to help you with your needs. You can visit them on the web at rodendsupply.com or call them at 800-284-2902. That's 800-284-2902. Rod End Supply, keeping you at the front of the field.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sabres 33 RLP. Let's go take a tour. Coming into this animal, we're going to take a trip back here to the feature of this trailer, the deck. Check it out. It's awesome. It's 4 by 10 feet. You can dance on this thing. Boom! Check it out. It's pretty nice. And then coming to the back of this thing, you got a 75-inch TV. It's huge. 60-inch fireplace. Nice and big, keep you warm. Then you got an ottoman that converts into a table, if you will. Maybe some TV trays. Then this hide-a-bed that I'm pointing at, it comes out and folds into like a king-size bed with storage in the corner for all your linens. Great little addition to the trailer. Your dinette, of course. Then you're gonna come around to the kitchen with the tic-toc sink. It's got the spritzer and the waterfall and all that stuff. Residential style refrigerator. It's got the microwave and the oven that's residential as well. Big old pantry over here with motion detected lights, coffee bar, and then coming up to the bedroom, you'll have the bathroom first, nice and spacious with a seat in it for them ladies. And then we got the king size bedroom with washer dryer hookup. I'm telling you, this is a home run for a couples coach. Come and see me, Kyle Walker.
When Steve died, the outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
So we have a lot of folks come in interested in traveling for work. This is going to be a great option. Your Coachman Northern Spirit 2565 front kitchen. You have a nice wraparound full front kitchen here. Huge windows up top. Big 12-volt refrigerator. Lots of windows on the sides here. Great natural light coming in. You have your big TV over here on the swing arm bracket so you can kind of see it from any point in the room. Also have your bar stools here, sit and eat your breakfast. In the bedroom, you're going to have a king-size bed in the slide-out. Lots of storage underneath that. Washer, dryer, hookup, tons of storage with the drawers. Then you got your full bath across the back. When it comes down to a camper that you can get for 6,500 pounds and be under 30 feet long, this is an absolute home run.
Race fans, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is open 7 days a week, year-round, for you to come in and check out all of the wonderful race cars on display in the museum. And our online store at sprintcarstuff.com is open 24 hours a day for you to check out everything that we have in stock for sprint car fans. Whether it's for a birthday, anniversary, or Christmas, sprintcarstuff.com has it all. That's at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Hey everybody, this is Larry the Cable Guide. You are listening to RacingBoys.com, and if you're not, I swear to you, get in your truck or do something, but get the hell out of this country because you don't belong in it if you don't listen to these fellas.
It's time for America's most unique motorsports show, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the racing boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Hour 2 exclusively on RacingBoys.com, our Facebook page, YouTube. Appreciate you joining us. Scott is not with us this morning, but he'll be back with us on Monday for Mostly Motorsports. We'll podcast that show as we always do on Monday, and we'll get a couple of guests lined up. I'm guessing from Wheatland tonight. I think I'm going to try to get Clinton Boyles back on the air.
Yeah, Clinton be good, man.
And we'll see who wins tonight down there as well. So we'll probably be focusing in on that, keeping our eyes on Knoxville and the late model Knoxville Nationals up there with Devin Moran and Jonathan Davenport on the front row of that race, and the Four Crown Nationals at Eldora Speedway coming up tonight. I always love watching the Four Crown Nationals, Todd, because you got the Silver Crown, you've got the non-wing sprint cars, you got the midgets, you got the high-limit wing sprint cars all in one night, and there's no one feature that's more important than the other. But the big thing that I always keep an eye on at Eldora during the Four Crown Nationals is, can somebody sweep all the divisions? And Dazen Persley is that guy. We're going to hear from him coming up in a couple of minutes. Persley is running in all the divisions, and he's already picked up one leg of it. He won the Great Lakes Series last night, the 360 class last night. So he's still in line to sweep everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
he's a good kid. When he talked about how he said he was going to be racing all of them during
that's hard to do, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, like he said, he has no time for worrying about what just happened, right? Because you got another race to get going to. So more power to him. He's got a busy weekend here going on.
And here's somebody who came back from a
devastating
injury a few years ago when he flipped that midget down at Arizona, and we thought he was going to be paralyzed.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
And it was not looking good.
No.
And he came back from that. And I remember he coming to the Chili Bowl. He wasn't able to race that weekend, but he was walking around, and and now to see what he is doing, he almost won the Chili Bowl this year. He won the midget championship last year in USAC, and he moved up to the high limit series, and he wins in the high limit series last weekend at Lernerville Speedway, and $30,000 and becomes a first-time high-limit winner. And it's just amazing that he was able to come back from that devastating injury, and it took a long time for him to recover from that. He's just 20 years old now.
And that's part of it, Kirk. When you're so young like that, you're kind of able to bounce back. Let's just say that, if it happened to somebody in an older age, man, it's just I mean, I was just telling you how bad I'm sore as hell this morning, Kirk. I haven't been this sore in a long time, and all I did was clean house. So I can't imagine, we talk Aaron Wright with the broken foot.
He's a lot younger than you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, though. These guys, you have to chalk that up to the youth, because personally, that was from all intents and purposes, that happened to anybody else, you don't know. You don't know if they walk away from that wreck, Kirk. I mean, he was, that was a big, big wreck for that kid, and man, he's a nice kid too. When we talked to him on the phone, you're going to hear probably 90% of the interview we did with him. But if you want to hear the full interview with everything, go check out our podcast, Mostly Motorsports, episode number 377, Kirk. That's what number that would have been.
Last night he started 17th and ends up in 13th spot. But he had a pretty good, of course, he won the 360 race last night as well. He had a really good run, running up towards the front on Thursday night when Rico Abreu won. But are we ready? Why not? Since we're talking about Dason, let's just go ahead and get into that interview right now with Dason Pursley. We talked with him on Mostly Motorsports this past Monday, and here's a little bit of that interview.
Dason, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on the show.
Man, this you got to really feel good about what happened at Lernerville the other night, especially the money to go with it, $30,000, and you win your first points-paying high-limit race. Congratulations. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, thank you. It was a good night for sure to finally pick up that first high-limit win, and put your name into the record books of winning with a series like that is super cool, and feels like it's been a long time coming, and just something that I've always, wanted to do and set out to do this year as I, transitioned into the wing car world. So just wouldn't have been possible without, anybody on Buick Motorsports, Tom Buick, Jerry Petty with Avani Windows and Doors, Pella Windows and Doors, and Juniana Concrete, and Glenn and Bonidia, at Big Spring Car Wash, just a whole bunch of people that have, given me the opportunity to live out a childhood dream of mine.
Hey, talk about that $30,000 that you picked up at Lernerville.
Yeah, it was great. Lernerville's been a place that has produced a lot of, first-time winners, I feel like, especially here in the, recent times that we've been. And everyone talks about how different, that the track has, races now. And I feel like it just trends with the people that, for some reason, just, really run the bottom right now. And I feel like the videos that I've watched compared to old Lernerville is, you can get up and run the top and kind of run the middle and just do all kinds of different things, where now when your car is, really good on the bottom, it just it pays to be down there and to be consistent and patient down there as well, too, as you've seen, with Tanner and I this weekend.
Talk about the bottom you talked about the bottom as much. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was all good. I felt like just somewhere that you had to be patient, and I felt like I stuck to the bottom, I would say, too early on, where I fell back to fourth just because I was, trying to be too patient, and, Rico and them got out in front of me, and Brad and Ryan, and they kind of started stretching their legs, and then, the track just kept getting dirtier and dirtier from the people running the bottom, and just kind of had that, like, slick mist, you could say, all over the track, and they started losing grip up there, and the bottom started, honestly, to get more and more grip as the race went on. So I think it just paid out for me to be on the bottom and to stay there. And, then once Rico and them started struggling up top, they just, eventually started coming back to me. And, we were able to lead, the last handful of laps, which was really cool with just, how I thought the race was going to play out and then how it did end up playing out.
Yeah, how tough is that to stick to your plan? Rico just, charged right out there, and Brad Sweet ahead of you, but you stuck to your plan. Although it'd be tempting to change your line a little bit, you stayed committed to the bottom, and it paid off. How difficult is that to do that?
Yeah, it's just something that I've, tried to accomplish this year with racing wing cars is just learning how the A features play out and what all directions and stuff that you need to go at this point in the race and at that point of the race. So it just kind of just allowed me to, just work on what I call my racecraft and just learn more and everything. And I fell back to fourth at one point in the race, and they were probably a straight and a half ahead of me. And I started moving around a little bit, but it just didn't really feel great for me. So I went back to what felt good for my car and good for me. And then we were able to eventually charge back up to the front.
I heard Brad Sweet comparing this track a lot to Lucas Oil Speedway. Tanner Thorson ran well at Lucas Oil, and then, of course, he won on Friday night. How similar is it to Lucas Oil Speedway? I was surprised to hear him say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think really maybe the size of it. I think their moat might be both called 3/8, or Lernerville might be a little bit bigger, I would say. But as far as like the banking and shape, I kind of think they're a little bit different, but the grip level, could kind of be the same. And I honestly think Lernerville is a little bit more of a momentum type racetrack than Lucas Oil is. So I think there is maybe a little bit of similarities, but nothing, crazy. Like I feel like you could kind of compare the two. So, Brad saying that, I don't really know exactly what he means by that, but Brad's a person that would know for sure with how many races that he's been to.
I think it's a lot about the grip level for sure. What is this? Buick Motorsports, you're able to land this ride during the off season. It's been a process to really get things rolling. You've had flashes of success as the season has gone on, but what is it about hooking up with this race team that's helped you?
Yeah, I think it's just the knowledge that they have and everything that they've, accomplished in their lifespan of, owning a team with Tom, and then, the great people that they have working for them with Sean Strasball and Gabe and Tyler. They just, everyone's just really clicking on all cylinders right now, and they're just, getting me more and more comfortable. And, at the beginning of the year, I think it was just more so me just trying to adapt to the wing car side of things and everything, and the car has always been good, and it's a well established team, you could say. So just the experience level that they have where they can guide a young kid like myself and just turn me into a good race car driver, and they've had extremely amount of patience with me to become who I am today, and I feel like that's what it takes. And for me as a young person, I need that as a leader, kind of a team owner in my sense, that it's helped me grow.
You talk about your non-wing experience. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you got 4 Crown Nationals coming up this weekend. Are you going to do it all?
Yeah, I'm gonna do all 4 of them, and there's even a 5th class that's going to be on Friday night with the 360s as well that I'm doing. So, busy week ahead for sure at Eldora, and it's one of my favorite times of the year. So it's something I look forward to. And, I've had a lot of, great opportunities to drive great race cars. And this year I feel like I have everything lined up where I feel like we should have a shot at all of them with Buick Motorsports, with High Limit. And then I'll be racing, Chad Bode at CB Industries. I'll be racing his midget non-wing car in 360. And then, Chris Dyson and Shawn Michaels, number 9 Silver Crown car. So, I've been doing a lot of racing in all of them this year to prepare for this week, and this is a week that's been circled on my calendar that I'm really looking forward to.
And you have won in all of these different disciplines, the Silver Crown, wing, non-wing, midget, and you've run very well. You almost won the Chili Bowl. I thought you were going to have a car to beat at the BC 39, but you weren't able to run the final night of that. I'll bet you were really disappointed about that, but you won in all these divisions. We saw you win at Knoxville here a year ago. That was a big race. So to put yourself in the history books, I'm looking at 3 names right now. Jack Hewitt, Kyle Larson, and Logan Seavey are the only 3 guys to sweep the USAC portion of the Silver Crown. Jack Hewitt, of course, the first to do it. How big would that be to put yourself alongside those names?
It would be amazing just to hear, a short list of people that have only swept the USAC stuff is really cool. And then, of course, Jack sweeping, all 4 of them that night. Yeah. So, I think I have an amazing opportunity to do so, to add my list, to that, or to add my name to that list. And, we were, won the sprint car portion last year and the midget portion, and then ran 4th in the Silver Crown. So, we were close, but just not close enough. And just hungry to finally, get another shot at adding my name to that list.
Chad Bode has been really important in your racing career too. Talk about him.
Yeah, he's been, giving me a great opportunity to showcase my talent, and he's a top-notch team owner that has everything lined up for people like me to come in and drive his race cars and have success. But he's just, a super great car owner. He's, established himself well enough in the midgets and everything to build fast race cars and proven race cars to win. And then, we built that non-wing car this year, and we had straightaway success in that as well too. So he's been a huge part of my career of, learning and growing. And then his dad as well, Billy Boat, is, established race car driver back in his time. So just leaning on them for, guidance and everything is something that has really, propelled my racing career. And just once again, just super thankful for all the people that I've been surrounded myself in the, short racing career that I've had.
The Chili Bowl, we remember the king of, what do they call that, the pole shuffle. You ran out of fuel there. I think you would have had the pole position had that not happened. You probably would have walked out of there. But I was also thinking about that when you were up at Knoxville for the Capitani Classic, and you found yourself on top of that deal. Just to talk about racing like a pole shuffle like that to determine the starting lineup of the feature events. You had two big ones there.
Yeah, it's different. It's cool. It's just like, kind of like a special event type of feeling that you only do those, a certain time of the year and definitely at certain events. So, it's really cool. I like them personally. I think it's just something different that we don't get to do that much. And at places like Knoxville, it's kind of hard just because it's so, one line dependent and stuff like that. But places like at Chili Bowl where they do it a little bit different than most, where it's kind of just like going out there and having qualifying times and you're not really racing, you're racing the clock, is, a different way to do it as well too. So they're all enjoyable, I think, for the fans and everything. And then you get a place like Chili Bowl where you're packed inside this little building. It's cool to hear the fans and everything when you do start, climbing up the ranks in the starting position.
Yeah, at Knoxville, it was you were actually racing the guy you were out there with, weren't you?
Yeah. Knoxville, they do a little bit different where it's not on times. It's just who you're actually racing against on the track at that time.
That made it tough that night. The track took a little bit of rubber that night. I know James McFadden found the high groove. It was a little bit unusual racetrack that night, wasn't it?
Yeah, Knoxville it was. I think the heat races and stuff were really good, and I think that's what Brian Brown touched on after the races in one of his interviews. Like, Knoxville has to, for the heat races and stuff with the major inverts that they do, they have to kind of, sacrifice a little, maybe in a little bit later in the night to have a good heat race track. And, we've seen a lot of passing in heat races at Cappy, and then unfortunately, ended up taking rubber. But I think Knoxville just was doing a lot of learning that week to try to prepare themselves best for, the Nationals week and just have the best possible racetrack every time that we hit the track for, our prelims on Wednesday and Thursday. And like Knoxville always does, it turns out to be a one heck of a week.
Well, you still had a fast race car then. Now let's talk Eldora Speedway. How much different you got to drive the Silver Crown car, midget, the non-wing, wing sprint cars? How difficult is that? You got to change your driving style a little bit, do you not?
You change it a little bit, but I'm just kind of the type of person that just gets in the car and whatever it feels like I need to do, I'll start changing a little bit. But I try not to think about it too much. Just whatever I feel in the seat and whatever I feel like I need to start changing in the steering wheel, I just try to adapt to the best of my abilities and not really put too much stress on how this car is supposed to feel or this car feels this. Just whatever my instincts and what I like, I search for, and usually I got good people behind me that can give me the feeling that I want.
We watched the late models there. They had their big show a couple of weeks ago, and they used the term character. It was, there was a few rough spots around the racetrack. How tough was that when you were there in July? There was a big hole down in turn number 1. I don't know if they fixed that or not. How difficult is that to get around Eldora Speedway?
It's just a fast place for sure. And when you're going at that speed, the holes can be, very, very minimal. But when you're going that fast, they just look a lot more aggressive just because of the speed that you're carrying around that place. And, I didn't really watch the late model stuff with just how busy my schedule was or anything. But when we were there in July, they were fighting with the rain all week. So it was kind of just like a thing that, maybe accidentally happened or something that was out of their play when, Mother Nature doesn't decide to rain and stuff. So Eldora is a top-notch facility with everyone that they have there, and I know that they're going to continue to work on the track and give us the best possible surface for us to go out there and race.
Are you hoping for really slick?
It doesn't really matter to me. I feel like Eldora, they have so much racing there with the week of Four Crown, and it's kind of a different format this year as we're racing 3 days instead of just 2. So, I think, you get the glass slick Eldora up on the fence is, what all the fans are wanting and everything. So, that's what I personally want as well. So, we'll have to see. I think it's going to be different this year, and we'll see how it all shakes out.
So you feel you really have to embrace right in the fence at Eldora. Some people are scared of that, but you embrace that, huh?
I think it's fun. I think it's what separates race car drivers and really good race car drivers is the people that, want to take the chance of, risking a lot for sure when you're running, inches off the fence like that. But, it's something that I, really enjoy is going up there and hammering the fence and putting on a show for all the fans.
Our producer Todd Surprise, he always puts up your merchandise page.
Yeah,
you want to talk about that a little bit?
Talk about that. You weren't able to take the trailer out to California, right? You had some issues.
Yeah, we had some issues about the merchandise trailer as we were on the way from Knoxville, and unfortunately we had some problems where the welds and stuff on the tongue unfortunately broke. Yeah, we had some people who had to fix that out where we didn't really get to take that on the road with us. But we have our good merchandise store, and my girlfriend does a phenomenal job with all of that stuff. So you can go to shopdasonpursuit.com and order a shirt, or we have a new T-shirt trailer thanks to Randy and Ann Weiss out of Iowa that are allowing us to use theirs, and helps us to sell merchandise to all the great fans out there.
Yeah, it looks like you got some pretty cool stuff up there. Just so how do you prepare? I mean, this Four Crown Nationals, I mean, you talk about being busy as a race car driver. How do you get yourself mentally and physically prepared for all that racing you're going to do this weekend?
I guess you could say you can just drink a lot of water is the easiest answer, but nonetheless, it's a busy week for sure, and I'm just super, thankful to have a lot of great partners and everything with me that allow me to drive really good race cars, and they hire, really good mechanics to work on all their stuff, so I just get to show up and drive and focus on my job. So it still is a, really busy and grueling week for sure, but it's something that, I've looked forward to where the preparation just comes a lot easier when you're really looking forward to stuff, and just super excited for it.
Since we spoke with Dason, that interview was on Monday, he's had a really good week. He's finished third in the high limit race at Lawrenceburg on Wednesday night. And so far, this weekend at Eldora, he's got a chance to not only four-peat, sweep the Four Crown, but five-peat. 5 races. He's already won one. The Great Lakes Sprint Series, or they call it the Great Lakes Super Series, for 360 sprint cars was held last night at Eldora Speedway. They're not running tonight. They just had that one feature last night. And he came from 11th to win that race. And, by the way, that was the season finale of that series. Max Stambaugh is the champion of that series. So he's already got one win under his belt, and he's got a chance to do the 5-peat. This is going to be really hard to pull off. But here's how he has done so far to set himself up. He's got a chance to really compete for this, Todd, because he's already proven he can win in the high limit series. Last night he finished 13th, so he's got a little bit of work to do for the high limit Wing 410 sprint cars, but he qualified second for the Silver Crown race tonight behind C.J. Leary, so he's got a second-place car in qualifying for the Silver Crown. In the midgets, he was running third. I thought he had a chance to win the race until he shredded a right rear tire, and so he wasn't able to finish, but he had a fast enough race car in the midgets, and he's the last year's USAC midget champion. Almost won the Chili Bowl. So he's got a good car in the midgets. In the sprint cars, in the non-wing sprint cars, he finished 4th.
Yeah.
On
it's not
Thursday
like,
night. Thursday night, he finished 4th in his non-wing sprint cars.
Yeah, it's
so
not like
he's got a chance.
Yeah, it's not like he's having one of these races where he's fallen way behind in any of these things. He's proven that he's got a shot in all these, which is, like you said, if he pulls that off, that's the phone number you need to be calling. We know we just had him on the show, but we can maybe book him again because nobody's done that, right, Kirk? I mean,
nobody's won 5. Jack Hewitt won 4.
That's how he.
But they didn't have 5.
They didn't have
Jack
5
Hewitt
back. They didn't have 5 back then.
So he has got a real good shot of pulling this off. It's going to be very difficult. We all know that. I mean, when you're racing against Rico and Aaron Reitzel in the high limit race at Eldora Speedway, Rico's really good at Eldora Speedway. You know, we've seen that, and Aaron Reitzel's really good. So it's going to be a real long shot to really win all 5. But he's got a chance to make it intriguing to watch.
Yeah, young man's got his bingo card full, as they say, Kirk. He's got a big day going.
Well, he'll have 4 races to run tonight.
Yeah.
So he's already got the win in the Great Lakes Super Series.
Think about that. You figure you already get your win, and then you wake up and you still got 4 more races. I mean, that's almost like a Chili Bowl weekend, right? Or you're having to come through the D, C, and the A. So anybody could do it. Dason could do it. You know, the kid's, I don't know. I think that kid, he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders. And, you know, when you talk to him, the kid's pretty intelligent. So, like you said, he's been through a lot in his young life. And look forward to seeing what the outcome is from this weekend. I know that I do know this. I think the weather up there will look fine. I didn't see any issues with any of the weather, so I think we're going to be fine up there. So,
just Lucas Oil Speedway, we're concerned
that's the
about.
one. That's the one we're watching. Right.
So last night they ran a big event at Lakeside Speedway. They had the Heartland Modified Tour at Lakeside Speedway last night. Pretty good action. Congratulations to Shadron Turner.
How about that, young man?
He holds off Tyler Wolf to win at Lakeside Speedway last night. And, you know, it got a little dicey there for a while trying to maneuver the traffic out at Lakeside last night. And Shadron Turner did it to perfection.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure he was going to be able to hold off Tyler Wolf, who, by the way, is coming off a $20,000 victory
big win
at
for
the
him,
Red,
wasn't it?
White, and Blue Nationals at Tri-State Speedway, Pecola, Oklahoma last Saturday night. So he came in on a little bit of a roll, winning all that money down in Oklahoma last Saturday night. So it wasn't easy for Turner to pull that off, but a good local win last night for Shadron Turner.
Yeah.
Out at Lakeside. They had a really good car count out there last
Yeah, they
night.
did.
30, I don't know, what they have, almost 30 cars
Yeah,
last
they
night?
had the A mods back out there, so yeah, pretty good little crowd. B mods, Tim Carrick picked up the win, and I don't know the other 2 classes. I didn't look. I saw them last night.
They had the vintage cars. Owen Ebinger won. The pure stocks, it was Joseph Smith, and they had 4 classes total. So,
Tim
by
Carrick.
the way, last week, Scott and I went down to Central Missouri Speedway
Yeah, how
for the
about
grand finale of the Walls at Central Missouri Speedway, and it was a great night of racing. The track was in great shape. It was great action, and congratulations to Derek Brown, who wins the $3,000 Superstock feature. That was a wild race. Different winners, there were different leaders in that race. And Derek Brown was able to get out in front and go to the checkered flag for the big money. But the closest race of the night was when Colton Kirk nipped Tim Carrick at the wire in the B-Mod feature.
that.
Was almost a photo finish.
Nice.
So congratulations to Colton Kirk for picking up the win at Central Missouri Speedway last week. I really enjoyed the races last week down there. It was full. They almost had a full house down there.
Yeah, everybody.
They call it the Hog Roast Nationals.
Yeah. Did you get you in any of that barbecue, Kirk?
We headed back because we had some races, other races I needed to watch to get ready for Monday's show. So we did not stay around for the barbecue. I'm sure it was great. They had they honored the drivers when they were down there. But it was a great night at CMS.
A little bittersweet for everybody.
Bittersweet to see. Next time we go down there, I hope we go down there again. I hope that there's more racing at Central Missouri Speedway. It would be under a new ownership when it happens. And I know they've got a couple of people that are interested in buying the racetrack. Let's hope that racing continues at Central Missouri Speedway. We'll hopefully hear some good news about a new owner of CMS in the coming months, but it'll be sad. We won't see the Walls there running that racetrack.
Good for them. They were able to go out on their own terms, and like you said, they've been doing this a long time. So good on them, and much deserved retirement or semi-retirement or whatever it may be for them. But hopefully that somebody will decide to pick that thing up, and it's pretty much turnkey operation, guys. You go in there and fire it up.
It's ready to go.
Ready to roll.
Yeah, they got the equipment, and that's if you were to come in and run that racetrack, there's not really much you have to do. There's drag racing. If you're a drag racing fan, there's action going on at Flying H Drag Strip this weekend. They got the pro mods out there. They started action last night out there. I think they got a full day of activity out there
Today'd be a good day to go out there, boy.
At Flying H Drag Strip, so if you're into that.
Those cars like this kind of weather, Kirk. A little cool. Those cars just liked everything about it. I always loved having that hot rod when it was this time where you know, you don't have to worry about your heat, don't have to worry about the AC. Carburies with that little cool, like sucking in that oxygen, boy. Just get out there on that drag strip.
Other drag racing news, Tony Stewart is going to be driving a Top Fuel dragster next year, but not for his own team.
How about that?
Because his wife, Leah, is going to step back in the Top Fuel dragster next year. She's ready to, she wants her car back.
Yep, she's had a year of doing the baby mama thing, so she's ready to jump in the race car again, Kirk.
Yeah.
And that means...
Do you think the boy will want to...
Well, he's going to race something.
At some point, he's exposed to it now.
He's going to race something. Maybe
I would have to believe that he'll be a...
I'd put him on... If I was...
Will it be drag racing or will it be...
Circle racing.
Circle track racing.
If I was me, I'd put him on a tractor and have him learn how to do the track at Eldora.
There you go.
And then that way you know you have Eldora handled for the next, another 60 years if you have your young man. So put him on the back of that sheep's foot and that water truck and teach him how to do that.
Well, Tony has joined forces with Elite Motorsports. They own a bunch of pro stock cars. Erica Enders, 6-time champion. I think Jake Coughlin drives for them. The Quadras. They've got a whole bunch of people that drive those pro stock cars. But Richard Freeman of Elite Motorsports wanted to get into the Top Fuel ranks because Erica wants to drive a Top Fuel dragster. She's not licensed yet to drive one. But they're going to field the Top Fuel dragster for Tony Stewart next year. So here's the dilemma. Okay, if he's up against his own car, driven by his wife, they're going for the championship.
What happens?
What's going to happen? I guess it'd have to be all out because he's driving for a different team. Yep. He wouldn't be... He'd probably get fired from Elite Motorsports if he just laid down for his own team and his wife, wouldn't he?
Have the red light go off. Be just a little too excited.
I think you got to race all out when you're driving for a different team. You're a hired gun. You got it's all war now with your own wife if you're out there side by side with her in the final round at the U.S. Nationals.
We know Tony Stewart.
Somebody's going to go home disappointed.
I don't know. We've seen Tony Stewart have down there at the Chili Bowl, and so I just know that, boy, if it come down to that weekend, they might be sleeping in two separate houses for the before that race starts, because I can't imagine. Tony, he's serious when that gets involved. But I think they'll worry about that. They'll cross that bridge when they get to it. We'll worry about...
I think they both hope that they make the finals of any race and meet up against each other, but there's a dilemma there.
There is.
The NHRA National event is at ZMAX Raceway in Charlotte this weekend. And Brittany Force, who announced
how about that
she
Stepping
will no
away.
longer be full-time in a Top Fuel dragster at the end of this year, qualified number 1 last night at ZMAX. Matt Hagan, who's a driver for Tony Stewart Racing, qualified number 1 in Funny Car. Dallas Glenn in Pro Stock and Gage Herrera in Pro Stock Motorcycle are the first to get the provisional number 1 spots at ZMAX Dragway. They'll continue racing there through the weekend. You can watch on the Fox networks, FS1, for the rest of the weekend on coverage from ZMAX Dragway. There's a couple of rainouts last night that we haven't talked about. The World of Outlaws were supposed to race at Thunderbolt Raceway in Tulare, California last night. Heavy rains wiped that out. The race is still on for tonight. They're paying $85,000 to win tonight at Thunderbolt. And as far as we know, that event is still on for tonight. David Gravel holding a 140-plus point lead in the point standings right now. Buddy Kofoid is a guy you need to take a look at. Carson Macedo all in the mix to try to pick up the big money out at Tulare tonight. There were also supposed to be action at Jackson Motorplex up in Minnesota last night. First night of the Jackson Nationals was rained out. Tonight's race is still on up there tonight. Dirt Vision will have the coverage of that. Oh, by the way, talking about the Heartland Modified Tour at Lakeside, tonight they're going to be at 81 Speedway. So and they had some pretty good stars out at Lakeside last night, Todd. They had Tanner Mullins, and they had Rodney Sanders racing out there last night. So they had some heavy hitters from the USMTS Tour out at Lakeside last night. I see Nick Benninger, who's won a lot of races at Lakeside in the past, finished second after starting on the pole, or finished third. Nick Benninger was third behind Chadron Turner and Tyler Wolf. Brandon Gibbons, Peyton Phillips, rounding out your top 5, but Rodney Sanders came from 11th to 6th. And Terry Phillips was out at Lakeside last night. He finished 10th. So there's some pretty good drivers and
heavy hitters
that
out
come
there
from the USMTS that are racing the Heartland Modified Tour this weekend. If you want to see them again, they're down at 81 Speedway in Wichita.
Yeah, good
tonight.
racetrack, not far away. You can get down there and watch you some more USM if you want to watch some of that.
And big news from Trenton Berry and Austin Kruger and Racing Dirt and all of what they got going on. This Heartland Modified Tour has been a real success. But they have now announced that they're going to be running a late model
How about
tour.
that? Boy, they're
And-
stepping up their game.
How about that?
All kinds of sheet metal going on over there at
The
Racing
Heartland
Dirt.
Late Model Tour has been announced. Trenton and
good for
Austin,
them.
and they're
All the guys.
going late model racing. You know, the MLRA went out of
Yeah.
existence,
That's right.
and so I think they're going to fill a void here.
Absolutely. We talked about it many times. Tried to get maybe Lakeside get a weekly late model program going on out there, but this sounds like a plan, and good for Stick and Trenton. Those guys, they work hard over there, and like you said, I don't think they'll have any issues. I mean, it fills a void, right? There's a void out there.
They're actively looking for dates and seeking long-term partnerships right now. The conversations and connections already happening are a great indicator for what's to come, according to the release. Fans, teams, and partners are encouraged to stay tuned for the upcoming full 2026 schedule, detailed tire rules, and additional technical specs.
Well, that's good.
I think this might work.
Yeah, I do too.
You know,
like you
they'll-
said.
There's this MLRA had a similar footprint.
Yeah.
In this area, and I think that could be a big deal for Racing Dirt and what they got going on. So that's big news. The expanding out from modified racing into dirt late model racing.
Yeah, have to get a hold of Trenton, get him on the
we'll
show.
Maybe get him on the show on Monday and talk
about his new series, maybe kicking off. So good for them. So
also, big announcement in sprint car racing. Donnie Schatz has found a ride for the rest of the 2026 season. He's teamed up with Jason Sides. Of course, we talked about earlier, Donnie Schatz got let go by Tony Stewart after the Knoxville Nationals. He's been in a lot of different rides here over the last few weeks to try to fill out the rest of the World of Outlaws season. He's racing with Paul Silva this weekend, and it works number W. Have you ever seen a car with a letter
W?
As instead of a number, it's W. So so Donnie Schatz will race with Jason Sides to complete the rest of the 2025 season, and in partnership with the JVI Group, has announced that the 10-time World of Outlaw champion will campaign a second entry. That Chris Wyndham's already driving.
Yeah, he's in that car.
Jason Sides' other car. And so that's where Donnie Schatz will be. The rest, he's got a ride for the rest of the season. Then we don't know what's going to happen next year. My guess is that he'll come up with something and stay with the World of Outlaws next year. But what that is, we just don't know what.
That's what I figure. That makes more sense. Hey, you want to get that Sprint Car Hall of Fame read, Kirk?
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is open. This is a big weekend for the Sprint Car Hall of Fame with the late models in town.
It is.
Of course, if you're heading up to Knoxville tonight, you might want to make sure you get in and see that Manzanita Speedway salute before it shuts down on October 1st. It is there with Jesse Hockett's winning car, the last sanctioned event ever held at Manzanita Speedway. Jesse Hockett, the car that he drove, is on display in there, along with the other artifacts of Keith Hall's Manzanita Speedway, so check that out. And also, they're already taking entries for the Corvette for 2026. You seen the picture of that?
I have not.
It's a different. It's a brand new. It looks like a white.
Oh, how about that?
It looks like it's white. So you can get registered for that right now by going to winacorvette.org. They've got a sprint car giveaway for December of 2026. Not this December. They do this every other year, and the sprint car giveaway is they're taking entries for that right now as well. Go to winasprintcar.com for all of that. Of course, if you're up at Knoxville tonight, it's a good time to get in there and check out all of the great displays in the Hall of Fame and the gift shop, sprintcarstuff.com, National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. If you're not able to get there this weekend, it's open 7 days a week, year-round, excluding some holidays.
And you can always shop online. So they really good online store. So if you can't make it in person, go online, shop to your heart's content. Kirk, you can buy all your Christmas gifts, lots of good books, all kinds of stuff up there.
And I heard Ricky Thornton Jr. had made an appearance up at the Hall of Fame as well.
How about that?
I've been trying to get RTJ on the show here the last couple of weeks.
He's a hard man to get.
If he wins tonight, maybe it might.
Might be hard. We'll try it again, but it might be hard to get him again if he wins again. That seems to be the thing. He gets pulled in a lot of directions the following after he gets a win.
Yeah,
he gets a lot of phone calls come Monday morning after a weekend of racing, but.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes tonight up at Knoxville. I expect a racetrack similar to if we had a racetrack similar to what we had last night, I think it's going to be a hell of a show.
Yep, I agree. Well, let's get to this Hank Davis interview real quick.
Hank Davis won his first Power I 410 feature last Saturday night at Callaway Speedway. Last night, on the opening night of the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial, he was the hard charger of the race. Came from 18th to 7th.
Good stuff.
In last night's feature. So he's in the mix tonight to try to win the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial. We had Hank Davis on our show. He drives for the Beaver Drill and Tool Billy Vielhauer team. You'll see him tonight in the 12X car at Lucas Oil Speedway. And earlier this week, we spoke with Hank Davis. Here is that interview. You got the victory on Saturday night out at Callaway Speedway. It was a pretty wild night down there, but how big is that to finally get that win?
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of, like a sigh of relief. We've been really fast, I would say, the past 3 weeks or so, but nothing to show for it really. It was nice to just finally close one out and get a win.
You started on the pole, and one would think if they didn't see the race that you just charged out in front and led wire to wire, no problems. But there were a couple of close calls there, weren't there?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think the first one was when Doney, he slid across me there in 3 and 4 and got back by him or whatever. But then a caution kind of saved me off of 4. I think maybe it was a different story because he actually got under me off of 4, and a caution come out, saved us, and then got to lappers, and then like that time I got into his sister or whatever. I really honestly I got a really good run, and honestly, I was out of the rubber, so it probably looks even worse sliding across there. But I think I didn't cut her any slack, but we kind of met in the middle, and then it kind of went south from there or whatever. But the wing had a little damage, but I was able to make it to the end, and then all worked out.
You had a little major wing damage on your car, didn't you?
Yeah, I just had a little bit, not bad. I really actually didn't even notice it at first, and then I noticed it. So it wasn't too bad, and it didn't affect the car, so we were all right.
Well, Natalie's brother, Xavier, who threw a couple of sliders on you, he wasn't very happy with you at the end of the race. There. What did he say to you there?
Yeah, I don't even really, honest to God, to be truthful with you guys, I really don't even remember what exactly you said. But
right.
Yeah, no, it's racing, it's emotional. We all get mad, and obviously I didn't mean to. And I think someone from his clan texted me the other day and said, sorry about it all, just about everything, whatever. And then knew I didn't do it intentionally. I didn't intentionally do it. We just, like I say, met in the middle, and it, she kind of got the shit into the stick, and not how I want to do it, but it's how it played out, and we'll just have to move forward and see what happens.
Yeah, 5 laps to go. You're not going to do something like that on purpose. You could wreck your own race car and take yourself out if you tried to take somebody out on purpose. That didn't make much sense, did it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm damn sure not good enough to go crash someone and not crash myself.
Yeah, that's what happens. Well, were you surprised? I don't know what the rules are for POWRi. They say if you're involved in an accident, you go to the back. Of course, you were allowed to keep your spot. Do they have a blend rule in POWRi?
No, really. I think it was just for the fact of she was the caution. I kept going. Yes, we got together. But it's just like I say. Sometimes it's the racing thing. You get the crap into the stick. I've been on those end of the sticks where I'm the one that stops and the other guy keeps going, and I'm the one that goes to the back because he kept going. So just kind of how it plays out sometimes not in your favor, and it worked out for me, and I'm going to take it.
Well, there's certain etiquette, I don't know if it's written down, rules of what lap cars are supposed to do, but really, do they supposed to go high or go low? You go around them? What about lap cars on a tight racetrack like that?
Well, when it's rubbered up like that, obviously it's in one lane. So, if I go, I feel like when I watch the video, I'm out in front of her, and I gave her probably a small option, but I feel like I gave her a little bit of an option to lift and not turn right off the racetrack, but just move over right a little bit. More so, sounds bad, but your lap cars, I guess, is a race and you're not involved. So even if it was her brother, if it was her brother, she probably would have lifted and helped him, not hit her.
That's a good
but
point.
not that I'm blaming her or nothing, but I feel like she probably would have lifted a little bit if it was him and kept on going. And maybe this time she just thought she was going to drive around it or something, and then we met in the middle, and like I said, she got the bad end of the stick.
And that wasn't the only lap car you had to try to maneuver around, too. There was another 1 or 2 cars there along with her coming out of that turn.
Yeah, and really the only reason I was wanting to kind of get past him was because Xavier did throw a big bomb on me early in the race when I got to lap traffic, kind of racing in the rubber. So I knew that he obviously wasn't scared to throw something at me. So I knew that if I just rode behind him, then he's probably going to slide across all of us. So I just, I knew that once I got him, even though there was rubber, I really couldn't necessarily follow him.
Yeah, I mean, when did you notice that it really took the rubber? How far into the race did you really notice it locking down?
I think it was like 17 to go or something. That there was like a 57 or something, the lapper that pulled away from me twice down the backstretch on the top of 1 and 2. So then I was just like, well, obviously then there's probably rubber there. And 3 and 4 took a rubber probably, 5 laps sooner, or started to. So just stayed up on the top of 3 and 4. And then when that lap car, I couldn't catch him, I just, moved up and figured out there was rubber, and then just kind of tried to not burn off the tires too fast.
The heat race, that was big to get yourself up on the pole, was it not? You won the second heat race, qualified 5th. Boy, qualifying is so important at these races, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much everything these days. We finally kind of got a pretty decent qualifying package to where we can qualify in the top 5. I think if you can qualify in the top 5, and realistically you want to win your heat, but you just got to at least go forward in your heat race from 3rd or worse or whatever, and then get some good points and get on the front row. And when you're on the front row, it just makes it a lot easier to just not win, but set your pace. Set your own pace and do what you want to do. Now that doesn't Friday night we didn't win, so it doesn't mean that you're always going to win, but you at least can get out front and then set a pace that you want to set.
You came in with a second-place finish at Lee County. That was backed up with a second-place finish at Benton Speedway. So you're coming into the Hockett McMillan Memorial on a pretty good roll, not just win, but top 2 finishes here.
Yeah, no, here the past month, with the 360 stuff that we have here, even and the 410 stuff, we've been pretty good. We've been, I think, in the top 5 for, the past 8 or 9 races or something in total. But yeah, no, just good momentum to roll in here and good confidence to know that your car is gonna operate the right way and know that you have one of the faster cars in the field.
5 straight top 3 finishes I see here. That dating back to Lake Ozark Speedway. A lot of different racetracks. You finished 3rd at Lakeside, 2nd at Benton, 2nd at Lee County, and the win on Saturday night. Vielhauer has been a fixture in sprint car racing around the Kansas City area for a long time. Just what's it like hooking up? How did you get hooked up with Billy Vielhauer?
It's actually pretty neat. I've been fortunate to drive for some pretty cool owners, like my Chili Bowl ride, like the Seymours. Getting to drive for those guys, it's not much cooler than that on that side. And then here at Beaver, those guys have had everyone, on the wing side, that's pretty much anyone or whatever. And it all really starts with Wayne Johnson. He's the one that kind of got me hooked up with them to run for sure, like the 360 Nationals, and then we all just kind of got along and it worked out, and I stayed around, and it's been going up since then.
Wayne Johnson, how big of an impact has he been on your career?
Yeah, he's pretty much. Everyone has that one person that pretty much, gives them the tools to do it, and then means pretty much everything to them, and then that's Wayne. If I wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here. Getting in his car and doing what we did last year pretty much really helped elevate my career. So I owe a lot to that guy. I talk to him every day, and I probably wear him out, but that's all right. I'm supposed to.
Let's talk about Lucas Oil Speedway, the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial. That would be a big win if you were able to get that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know that would be huge. I mean, I didn't know Jesse, at all really, because I was a kid and don't really remember those days that well. But obviously, he was a pretty badass race car driver, and I didn't know honestly that the Daniel McMillan at all. I didn't really even know of the name, to be truthful with you. But obviously, they were pretty big. They were pretty influential people around the Missouri area or whatever, and because that place is usually pretty packed and a lot of people show up for it, so it obviously meant a lot to a lot of people.
He was he was about as versatile a race car driver. You know, people talk about Brady Bacon now, what he does in wing and
Right.
non-wing and stuff. Jesse could drive it all and drove the midgets
Right.
as well. He's just such a versatile driver, and he's one of these guys that made non-wing racing cool again because they'd kind of gone off the radar for a long time because it was so dangerous. And of course, they made these
Right.
cars a lot safer. So he was he just had that kind of impact. And 15 years after he's passed, this Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial Race, I can't think of a memorial race that's any bigger for a race car driver than the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial. Can you?
Yeah, no, I couldn't either. They party from pretty much Wednesday to Sunday, and they're really. I mean, as far as I can remember, the one time I've gone and ran it was a 360 show, but it was jam packed with people, and it was quite the time.
Well, it looks to me like you brought about as much success to the Beaver drill and tool car as any driver that has been in that car here so far. Just what's that like, just working with Billy?
Yeah, no, Billy, he's a cool guy. You know, he kind of, reminds me of Wayne a little bit, so maybe that's why we get along, so well. And we just work well together, and then got the car, just rolling really well, and a good baseline to roll out of the trailer and work on it from there. And I think if we just can keep up the qualifying speed, then we'll be in a position to get wins, and they'll come. You
are a former winner at the Chili Bowl, a preliminary night winner down there. What's your plans coming up for the Chili Bowl? It's hard to believe. It's only about 3 or 4 months away. You're going to be back at the Chili Bowl. What are your plans this coming up in January? Yeah, no, same team. But the Seymour guys, Matt and Bobby and Dave and Jake and all those guys over there at the Seymour deal. And, we'll be there running, should probably run Tuesday again for the qualifying night. And, just looking to try to make another Saturday feature. That place means a lot to me, just being, living close 15 minutes from there. So I just want to, do good, and we'll see if maybe one day we can get a driller. That really what put you on the radar screen, did it not? That night you won down there? Yeah, no, that was definitely the first huge boost to get me to kind of just people to see me and maybe know my name a little bit. And then, like I say, Wayne basically kind of, elevated that to another level. And, he knows a lot of people. So it's all of it just kind of has come together. And everyone that I've ever driven for, just like Dean, Franklin, Eric Fenton, all those people everyone's meant something and knows someone to help me get to the next step. And that's what we're just, I'm thankful for them all. Hank Davis, he'll be at it tonight down at Lucas Oil Speedway for the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial Race, driving the number 12 Beaver Drill and Tool car. Big win for him last Saturday night at Callaway, and he's in the mix tonight. Try to pick up that big win down there at Lucas Oil Speedway, so we'll look forward to that. Hey, I wanted to mention one thing I forgot to mention a little bit earlier. At the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum today, the auction will take place. They do have an auction on the second floor today. Starts at 11:30, and donations from the late model community expected. And so I think they've got some information up on their Hall of Fame Facebook page as well. So that auction starts at 11:30 on the second floor of the Hall of Fame. So look forward to that. Todd, are the Chiefs going to win on Sunday night?
My hope is that
the Giants, right?
Yeah, it's the Giants. And the Giants,
they better win, right?
Yeah, the Giants had a couple pretty good games out of the gate, so maybe
they almost beat Dallas.
Man,
they got Russell Wilson now.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Russell Wilson always plays well against the Chiefs.
He had over 400 and some yards against the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, he had a pretty good game. I think the only issue they had there is, you got a new coach, new quarterback, all this stuff kind of going together. So it's going to take them a few weeks. So maybe we catch them on a week to make this a get right week is what they call it. Let's get everything back to right. Make the city stop freaking out a little bit and everybody can breathe. And then that way when Kansas Speedway is open next week, we can all just go out and watch some racing and not worry about Chiefs. You know
That's
what I'm
it.
saying? That's how
I'm not thinking about a Chiefs next weekend. I'm thinking about racing.
Yeah, I like I said, I watch both, but I told you the other day, Kirk, I got my Super Bowls. I've seen us play.
You came into the season not really expecting the Chiefs
I didn't
to
expect
really continue
I didn't
doing it.
Didn't expect now. I didn't expect much from this year. Look, man, we went 5 times, Kirk. We won 3 of them.
That's amazing.
I'm content. I mean, like I said, I want more, but
it's hard to continue that.
It's hard to do that.
The rules don't affect that. Yeah. It doesn't lend itself to continuing a dynasty like that.
That's the whole point of NFL and the National
They
Football
want
League
different winners.
Is there's a reason why you get the last pick in the draft when you win all the time, and there's a reason why the salary cap is enforced the way it is, because you get players and you start paying them, you get better. You're supposed to not, everything evens out. This is a parity league. And for us to actually be this dominant in an age of parity, when every year there's another team just popping up here and here. So I'm content, Kirk. I can watch the football games on the weekends, and I don't get upset no more.
There you go.
Don't
get stressed out.
I don't stress. I used to stress, Kirk.
Enjoy it for what it is.
This is literally the first year I've actually been like, man, this is just.
Well, these other teams in the division have gotten better too, so it's going to be hard to win the.
Look at the coaches. You got the coaches alone in our division, Kirk, are stacked. You got a Harbaugh. You got the guy from Seattle, the older guy that's coaching the Raiders now. Then you had the guy from
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. Then you had the guy that was that won the Super Bowl with
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton with Drew Brees down in New Orleans.
Denver.
And he's
so
in
all
Denver.
These teams are better. They got better coaches. It's just going to be. It's nothing you've done wrong. It's just that everybody else has gotten better.
Everybody gets better. And here's another thing: people don't realize how many we've played in 5 Super Bowls, right? You know how many we've played. Travis Kelce going into not last year, the year before, he'd played the equivalent of 1 extra season on his body with all the playoff games and world championships. Think about that. You're playing extra, another 18 games on that guy's body that are just playoff games, Kirk, and Super Bowls. Also, your window from when it's the last game to your first game has been narrowed so much when you win to when it's time to fire up again, right? So everything goes against that. I'm like you, Kirk. I just want to see. I want the packed house to be at Kansas Speedway this next weekend, and not really, Arrowhead's fine.
Arrowhead will take care of itself.
They'll take care of itself. So get on out there to Kansas Speedway, enjoy it. It's going to be a nice race.
DVR the game and come out to the Speedway.
That's what I'm saying. I think you'll have plenty of time, and hell, you can probably watch most of the race and still get home and watch it. So I think you'll be fine. So yeah, Kirk, if you're heading down there, you guys heading down there today, you guys be careful heading down to Lucas Oil. I haven't heard any weather or anything. I think we're fine. So
I just want to give a call up. My hometown, Mount Ayr, Iowa, is celebrating its how do you say this? Sesquicentennial.
What's that?
150 years.
150.
Big celebration. My hometown of Mount Ayr, Iowa. They got a big parade today.
How about that? You're missing it, Kirk.
I may try to get up there tomorrow to check the last day of it. But that's a big deal. So congratulations, my hometown. 150 years old.
The Elliots are pretty prominent there in that town. So like you said, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get up there.
I think they'll get good weather for that
That'd
up there
be good.
today. I think so.
Rock and roll.
Anyway, we appreciate you tuning in. There was one other thing I had on my mind, and I forgot what it was.
You'll remember it as soon as I hit.
That's a product of old age.
You'll remember it as soon as I hit this button to turn it off, and you'll be like, I forgot. So that's all right. That's how we are. We fly by the seat of our pants over here at Racing Boys, guys.
That's it. Nothing is scripted.
No. Here's what I got for notes today.
Here at Racing
And these
Boys.
notes are basically what interviews I had written out. Other than that, we just come in here and fly by the seat of our pants. We appreciate our sponsors, Rod End Supply and Bob Baker over at Sprint Car Hall of Fame, and all of our proud sponsors. We couldn't do this without them.
Oh, I was going to say Jason Martin won the ASCS National Tour race at Paducah, Kentucky. They're going to be at I-55 Federated Auto Parts Speedway tonight. So We'll watch that. I think Dirt Vision's carrying that. So a lot of big races tonight. Flo has the Four Crown Nationals and the late model Knoxville Nationals. Dirt Vision has the World of Outlaws and the ASCS National Tour and the Jackson Nationals. And you can watch the Heartland Modified Tour from 81 Speedway on racindirt.com, and Start to Finish TV will carry the live coverage of the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial at Lucas Oil Speedway. Better yet, come join us down there tonight, Lucas Oil Speedway, to watch the action.
Just a couple-hour drive, man. You get down there, it's going to be nice. You'll be home before.
Oh, the one thing, that's what I forgot to mention. What about that Royals score 20-1 over the Blue Jays last night?
And it wasn't on TV, so nobody could watch it.
It wasn't on TV.
It was on. You had to have it on.
Was that
the Google Play or whatever?
That right?
Yep. So
20-1.
It was 7.
I saw that score and I couldn't believe it.
It was 7-0 in the first inning, Kirk.
Against Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer gave up 7.
So is he about ready to retire?
I don't know, but he gave up 7 unearned
Against the Blue Jays, Toronto. Who's
So-
the lead? Don't they lead the Eastern Division?
And they did not look. I even asked my son. I go, did they just bring in a right fielder to pitch? Because that's what that score looks like.
I didn't even know it wasn't on TV, local TV.
Yeah,
I was watching too much races last, but I saw that score and I said, "You got to be kidding me!"
I told my wife. I said, "Hey, why don't you flip the game on real quick, and I'll come back down and we'll eat dinner." And she started flipping. She goes, "Well, it's already 7-0." And I said, "Well, flip it on." And we couldn't find it. And then I realized that's because it was on the Google app play.
20-1.
The football score, Kurt.
The Royals have gone a whole month without scoring that many runs.
Heck, the Chiefs didn't put up 20 points sometimes. So I mean, you know,
the Chiefs have a hard time putting up that many.
So yeah, they're back at it again today. Last 2 games, Kirk, today and tomorrow.
That's
for
it.
the season.
Home
so
season's over for
you
the
better
Royals
get out
after-
there tomorrow, Kirk.
Tomorrow would be the time to
You
go.
better go tomorrow. You ain't been yet.
I haven't
this
been to a
year.
game all
I've been
year.
to 3 this year. This is more. I've been to more this year.
Did they
than
win the games you attended?
two of them. One of them I left and we wasn't winning. We won it when we hit the parking lot.
Yeah. You left early.
Well, the Yankee game. It was the bottom of the. There's only 2 outs
You
left.
didn't stay to the finish.
No.
I remember you telling
And
us
we
that.
were driving and saw the fireworks in the parking lot. So, that's how it goes. Sometimes.
That's how it
I
goes.
watched 2 wins and I saw 1
Are
loss.
you
so-
regretful you didn't stay?
Nah, it's all right. I got home in time. You know how it is when you get older. You're more worried about getting
You're
home.
worried about, you think of the last few innings. How am I going to get out of here?
I just got to get out of here. I need to
You
make
should
good.
just enjoy the game and then worry about the traffic after the game's over.
That's what I hear. I don't know how my brain doesn't work that way sometimes though. So
Todd, thanks so much for coming in. We'll be here on Monday.
Absolutely, not a problem.
We'll podcast the show on Monday.
That's right. Episode 378 coming up Monday.
We're not sure who our guests are yet, but
Nope.
tune in to find out.
Whoever wins tonight, we'll be
Yeah.
giving them a call on Monday.
That's it.
So that'll be good stuff. Well, I'm hoping if we can't get a hold of some, hopefully maybe Aaron Reitzel. That'd be a good. He's had a couple
We
big
haven't
wins
had him on.
and haven't had him on.
We haven't had him on since the broken
Yeah,
nose.
he just came back from the broken nose, so it's time to have him on again. He's got something else broken. So,
Thank you for tuning in. For my partner Scott Traylor, who will be back with us on Monday, I'm Kirk Elliott. We're brought to you by Rod End Supply, home of the Power Eye Midwest Lightning Sprints. Have a great rest of the weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.